Hey, my name is Adam Levy, and I want to tell you about one of my favorite pedals. It's made by Jam Pedals, and it's called the delay Llama. It's an analog delay. It's really simple. It has 3 knobs. You'll see my board, I think, somewhere in this video, and you'll see it's a very easy kind of board to take stuff on and off of. It's just made from stuff you can buy at Target or whatever. But one pedal that stays on there always, even as I swap out favorite overdrives and compressors and stuff, the last thing that just stays on there all the time is this delay Llama. It's really simple. If you've used a classic analog delay, it will be familiar to you. Mine here on the board is a hand-painted edition I got from Jam Pedals. Because it's hand-painted, I don't even remember exactly what knob does what, but it's very, very intuitive. This upper left-hand corner basically gives you longer delays. So here's a relatively short delay. And it can go a little longer. And if you want to go all the way to the end, this is a pretty long delay. And of course you can get more repeats and more of the mix of the delay. So this is a longer delay. I've got the delay level and the mix level a little hotter, and this is the longest time setting that you can do on this pedal. There's a couple things that I love about it. One is that it's just very intuitive. Mine happens to be hand painted, so it kind of makes me forget exactly what knob does what. But as soon as you reach down and start turning things, if you've ever spent any time with a classic analog delay, it will be familiar to you. And I don't trip too much about, like, is the repeat on 9 or 10 or whatever. Those numbers don't really matter. It just is about sound and feel. So I kind of like that aspect of this particular one. I like how touch sensitive it is. Sometimes if I play a little lighter, I almost feel like I'm not getting the delay happening too much. And when I dig in, it comes out a lot more. So if you're a touch sensitive player and you play with dynamics, the pedal can maybe do more than you expect it to do, because it's kind of almost feels like you have the control of an expression pedal where you're blending it in and out, but it's really just happening with your bare hands, which is pretty cool. Also, I love how the repeats are a little bit dark, which is an aspect of classic analog delays with the old style chips, but it doesn't feel artificial. Sometimes modern takes on analog delay, it feels like they're working a little too hard to darken it. This just feels really, for lack of a better word, organic. It feels really just like part of your sound. There's your guitar, there's this echo thing happening, and there's your amp, and they're all talking to each other in a really nice way.
Like, how did you even hook up with Jam? When did you meet them? Or?
Yeah, sure. So I had been hearing about Jam Pedals. I started hearing about them around 2013 or something like that. I remember David Hidalgo from Los Lobos talking about them in an interview, and around that time, I'm going to say 2013, I went to the NAMM show. And my main goal there was I wanted to check out the jam pedals, because really just as an admirer of Hidalgo, and they had other people who were talking about them too, Nels Klein and Jim Campolongo. I like their sounds a lot. So I went to the NAMM show, and I looked in the little booklet to see where the jam pedals guys were, and of course they were down in the basement. It might have been their first year or second year there. And I met them, and I was struck. They're just the spirit of these guys. It doesn't, when you see what the pedals do, it wouldn't surprise you, the kind of positive, generous, open-hearted spirit that the guys who actually make these pedals have about what they're doing, and it's about, you know, guitar tone in general. So I tried a few pedals that day at the NAMM show. I'm sure I tried a delay Llama. I also tried a Waterfall, which is their chorus and pitch vibrato pedal that I love. I tried the Rattler, which is a really good distortion. I must have tried a Tube Dreamer, and I like all of those. But the one that my desert island jam pedals, if you will, would be the delay Llama.